This is Young Audience's Baby Artsplay at Home, and my name is Nanette Leday. I'm a teaching artist with Young Audiences of Louisiana, and today is the 6th session in our series with the New Orleans Museum of Art and the Sculpture Garden there, which is open now. So I would like to share with you, first of all, this beautiful sculpture that is called the Wind Sculpture. It's by an artist from Nigeria named Yinka Shonibari. He lives in London now, but he grew up in Nigeria, and he has a very fascinating story. And he's very influenced by the connection between Europe and Africa. And he said this one reminds him of the sails of a ship that may have brought people between those two continents. He's also very influenced by this thing called Dutch waxcloth. In fact, I'm wearing a skirt made out of that fabric today, and I want you to look, when you go to see it, very carefully at the patterns on the metal, because you will see things that resemble something like this. I'm going to move closer so you can see it. Yes, it's originally made by the Dutch people and went to Indonesia and ended up in West Africa. And he has a very interesting upbringing because he was unfortunately became very ill with a spinal disease when he was about 17 or 18, and he actually works out of an electric wheelchair. Whole side of his body doesn't move, and so he has a team of assistants that help him to make all of his beautiful work. He does a lot of different kinds of art, and he also works with dancers sometimes. And I was playing an instrument for you from one of my experiences. This is called a pandeiro, and it's a Brazilian instrument. When I lived in New York years ago, I was in a company called Dance Brazil, so I learned how to play all of the instruments from that culture, as well as a lot of West African work. And that is the way that music influenced me, because I love music, that's why I like to dance, and what connected me with these wonderful artists from these different parts of the world in New York. They chose me because they could see my harmony with them. So art is a really, really wonderful thing to experience in your life. I hope you get to go to the Sculpture Garden soon, because today's lesson, it may be inspiring in that way as well. It's called Get Your Motor Running, and it's about fine motor skills, which we need to develop as very young children so that we learn how to use our hands and different instruments and write and draw and paint and put our clothes on and tie our shoes. And also gross motor skills, which means the whole body movement. So you're going to need yourself, and if you have your shaker available, I'd like for you to go and get that. If you don't have it from our other lesson, you can still go and just get a container and put some beans or some rice in it. We're going to use that later on in some of our songs. And also, make sure you have a nice clear space around so that you can participate in the movement section. But we're going to start sitting down first. So we're going to take a pause now. I'd like for you to go to the kitchen and get your little shaker, and then come back and make sure you have enough room spread out so that we can move and have some fun together. See you in a moment. Welcome back, friends. Do you have a nice comfy place to sit? I have my favorite chair again, but you can also sit on the floor. And have your shaker ready, because we're going to use this in one of our songs. So the first thing I would like for you to do is sing a song that we usually use with this lesson. It's called Open and Shut Them. So let me see your open fingers. And you can help your really young little learners if they have trouble articulating. Wiggle our fingers a little bit. So we're going to go open and shut them, open and shut them, open and shut them, give a clap, clap, clap. Open and shut them, open and shut them, open and shut them, put them in your lap. Nice. All right, so let's do something a little different with wiggling. We're going to do creepy crawlies on our arms. So you can do this for your child and tickle them a little bit. Creeping and creeping, creeping and creep them and creep them up to your chin. Creep them and creep them, creep them and creep them. Open your mouth, but don't let them in. Yeah, did you wash your hands today? Don't forget, we're still doing that too, especially if you touch your face. All right, let's do one more. Let's do shake them and shake them, shake them and shake them, shake them and shake them, like this and that. Shake them and shake them, shake them and shake them, shake them and shake them, put them together in your lap. Roll, roll them and roll them, roll them and roll them, roll them and roll them, roll them up and down. Roll them and roll them, roll them and roll them. Be very quiet, blow a kiss, don't make a sound. Yeah, so that one is kind of fun. And then you can also do one of our very old standards called Itsy Bitsy Spider. Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Then the itsy bitsy spider went up the cloud again. Nice. I also like one other song that has identification of our individual fingers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers on each hand. Each finger has a special name. This one is your thumb. This one is your pointer finger. This one we call tall man. This one is the ring finger, because you wear your ring on that one. And this one is pinky finger. So we're going to close them all up and put them behind your back before we start. And so it goes like this. Where is Thumbkin? Where is Thumbkin? Here I am, here I am. How are you this morning? Very fine, thank you. Run away, run away. And I like to give a little different voice for each finger. Next one is pointer. Where is pointer? Where is pointer? Here I am, here I am. How are you this morning? Very fine, thank you. Run away, run away. Next one is tall man. You know, tall people often have a very deep voice. Where is tall man? Where is tall man? Here I am, here I am. How are you this morning? Very fine, thank you. Run away, run away. 2 more left. Let's do ring finger. Where is ring man? Where is ring man? Here I am, here I am. How are you this morning? Very fine, thank you. Run away, run away. The last one is pinky. Where is pinky? Where is pinky? Here I am, here I am. How are you this morning? Very fine, thank you. Run away, run away. Ha ha ha. So those are some finger play songs that you can do with your child. With a very young child, under 1 year old, especially good. And it will get them to articulate their fingers a little more and also start to see what kind of movements that they can do with them. When we come right back, we're going to be using our shaker. Okay, so I'll let you have a minute to go and get that, and I'll see you right back here in just a moment. All right, friends, welcome back. Do you have your shaker with you? All right, so let's review one song that we did before. We did the shakin', 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 stop. Shakin', 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 stop. Shakin', 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 stop. And then we're gonna shake some more. Yeah, so we did that with a little dance. So I would also like to do something called the cha-cha song with you. Do you know what the cha-cha song is like? It's pretty simple. It helps your child to start to articulate sounds, and also it's kind of fun to do, either sitting down or standing up. So it goes like this. Cha, 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 cha. Cha, 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 cha. One more time. Cha, 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 cha. So you can see by holding your shaker that your child will develop their grasping ability. Grasping is very important because it helps them to hold things carefully. And also when they start writing or drawing, then they will have better muscle control over that. In fact, I have an instrument that I want to share with you that I used in the very beginning in a song about colors. And you may not have one of these, but these are really great for not only teaching colors, but when a child holds an instrument like this, this is called a pincer grasp, right? So they're going to be learning really specifically how to hold a pencil when they use something like this. And they may hold it with a grasp at first, but encourage them to use their fingers in this way. And then, of course, the added benefit of having a fun song about our colors. So those are a couple of activities that you can do with your very early learners. And I have a book that I'm going to share with you that also explores larger motor skills, more full body movements. So we're going to move our seat out of the way if you're sitting in a chair, and make sure you have a nice big space to move around in. And I'm going to share my book with you called Please, Mr. Panda. Welcome back, friends. Well, here is my book by Stephen Anthony. I'm going to come closer so you can see the cover. It's called Please, Mr. Panda. And I have my little panda baby friend with me here too. Hello. He's very cute. Yes. Panda bears are wonderful to see. And you know, when the babies are born, they're very small. They are 400 times smaller than the moms. I just found that fact out. So I'm going to put my baby panda down so that I can show you the stories in the book. So what's he holding? What do you think is in that box? Those are donuts. Do you like donuts? Oh, look, there are many, many donuts. And there's somebody down here. Maybe that creature is eating some of the donuts. I like this book very much because it teaches important social emotional learning skills like how to say please and thank you. That's why the title is Please, Mr. Panda. That's a clue. So let's see what happens in this story. Mr. Panda has a big box of donuts, and he sees a little penguin. And he said, would you like a donut? And the penguin has his hand up, and he's saying, give me that pink one. So how do penguins move? Have you seen penguins at the zoo? Because the zoo is open now. You can go and see them. Penguins kind of waddle like this. They make little steps, and they go from side to side, and they have little short wings because they can't really fly. So if you see a penguin, notice how they're moving around. They waddle like a duck does a little bit. but he said, "Just give me that pink one." And Mr. Panda said, "No, you cannot have the pink one. I have changed my mind." Huh. And he walked away. That wasn't very nice the way he asked for that donut, was he? So he sees another animal. Let's see which one this is. That looks like a skunk. The skunk is very hungry, and he said to the skunk, "Would you like a donut?" And the skunk said, "I would like 2 donuts, the blue one and the pink one." And Mr. Panda said, "I have changed my mind. You may not have the blue and the pink one." And the skunks are little animals that walk close to the ground, like this. Imitating animals is a great way to teach your child how to use their body in a large motor skill way. So he kind of crawls along, close to the ground. And the panda bear is walking. I've seen panda bears playing. They like to tumble a lot. Oh my goodness, look at this. That is a huge fish. In fact, he's so big, Mr. Panda had to get in a boat to go out and see him. He said, "Hey, would you like a donut?" And the killer whale said, "I want them all." How scary. Let's use our arms. So when you're doing your swimming arms, we might swim like that, or like this, or whales sometimes wiggle their whole body like this. And then they have a long tail that goes back and forth, or up and down. If you ever see a whale coming breaching out of the water, he puts his head up and he crashes down again. Comes up and crashes to the other side. He uses his big flukes. That's what their fins are called, flukes, when he's swimming. So if you learn how to swim, you might be just doing the paddle first and kicking your legs in the back. And then you can learn to use your arms as you get stronger, like this. That whale must have been hungry. He wanted the whole box of donuts. But do you think he got them? I don't think so. Mr. Panda got in his boat and he went, "Oh, no, you may not have them. Bye." And he paddled away. So let's see what happens next. Poor Mr. Panda. He said, "Would anyone like a donut?" He's just trying to give his donuts away. Look.
Hello.
Look at this little creature down here.
I would like a donut, please.
Oh, he said, "Please, Mr. Panda." That looks like a little monkey kind of creature called a lemur. He said, "Please." So Mr. Panda said, "You may have them all." And the little lemur said, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." He was so happy because he loves donuts. And he sat and ate the whole box. And Mr. Panda said, "I don't even like donuts." He was just waiting for somebody to say, "Please." Oh, this is what happens when you eat too many donuts. You fall asleep and get into a food coma. So let's see what he does. He's on the ground, lying down, with his arms up in the air and folded over his tummy. So remember, when you want to ask for something nice, especially a treat, you say "please," and then when you get it, you say "thank you." So now I'm going to say "please," friends. Why don't you join me in doing a little review of the gross motor skills that we learned from the story. The first thing that we saw was the panda bear walking. You use your whole body when you walk, especially your feet, right? So you can walk front, and back, and side to side. Walk, 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 and stop. Good job. All right. So the first animal that he saw that was asking for a donut was the penguin. The penguin had these little arms because he can't fly, but he has a very cute walk that's kind of like this. So his body moves from side to side a little. That's called a waddle. Doesn't pick his feet up very high. He just moves forward and stops. That's the penguin walk. And he doesn't fly, so we're just going to put our arms down again. But the next animal that we saw, if you remember in the story, was a big skunk. And the skunk had a big fluffy tail, and he moved like this. Skunks kind of crawl along on the ground, although I've heard that they do, when they get excited, they stomp their feet. Sometimes they stomp them together. So they do a little jump, and their tail sticks straight up, and they jump. I saw a film about baby skunks once. It was pretty funny. So that's what they do when they're excited. Skunks. The next animal that he saw that wanted all of the donuts, do you remember who that was? I think it was that big fish called the killer whale. And we were using our arms this time. So swimming arms can look like this. When you get stronger, they can look like this. And when you're just learning, you do the dog paddle, so they kind of look like this, and then you kick your feet out in the back. Always kick your feet so that you can float. And then he moves his tail from side to side, or up and down. And his flukes, that's what his fins are called, his flukes are very graceful, help him to turn in the water like this. And sometimes when he gets excited, he'll jump out of the water and breach, crash to the side, and jump out and crash to the side. I used to live in Hawaii, so I have seen whales doing that. It's pretty exciting. They make a big splash of water when they come down. And there was one more animal that we saw, and we didn't talk too much about how he moves. It was the little lemur in the end that said, please, and oh, thank you. And I said it looked like a little monkey. So I think the lemur may move his arms like this. Or he may trot along like this. And they have a long tail that stands up. And the tail helps them to climb. So climbing is another important thing to learn. If you're climbing up the ladder at the playground or learning how to climb a tree, I used to love to climb up trees, but you have to be careful. Make sure you have an adult with you. So climbing, walking, swimming, hopping, gliding, floating, all of those are nice, large movements that you can make to help your body grow and be strong. And now at the end, I will say, thank you, friends, for participating. And we have one more thing to do. I have to sing the goodbye song. So sit down again and enjoy that in just a moment. Welcome back, friends. And this is that moment that I never want to see. It's the time we have to say goodbye. But there'll be more sessions coming up soon. So make sure that you stay posted on our page on Facebook to see about some new classes that'll be coming up later in the summer that you can enjoy together as a family at home. And make sure when you go to the sculpture garden that you take a look at this beautiful wind sculpture. It's right behind the big entrance to the back entrance to the museum, and see if you can notice those patterns that I told you about with the wax fabric by our wonderful artist Yinka Shanabare. And we're going to sing now my favorite song, You Are My Sunshine, because you are my sunshine. And we'll do the goodbye song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. give me that steady beat. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, my friends. Now it's time to wave goodbye, wave goodbye, wave goodbye. Now it's time to wave goodbye, wave goodbye, my friend. Blow a kiss. Now it's time to goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now it's time to goodbye, goodbye, my friends. So I sure had fun with you guys, so hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.